Okay. Let's see how this goes. Oops, I clicked on the wrong one. It's not an issue. We have to go with circuits. Okay. And I made one mistake, which is I can't check Discord. So we are going to put that one up as well, so we can see when the notification hops on. Here we go. All right. We're going to put a few things up. I mostly just want the image now. That's way too large though. Okay, that's not how it worked. Can I put multiple images on here? As you can see, I'm not the greatest with paint. These are already fancier than I thought they would be. I need a quite basic one. I'll just take the first one, why not? Okay. We'll copy this image as well. Can we put it in here as well? Yeah, we can. But we can't expand the canvas. So if you just go how does one make an infinite canvas in Paint? I have no idea. Anyway, it does not really matter all too much. Just make it very big. Put the stream deck in. We'll add in the oscilloscope second. Here we go. Okay, so these are two ideas for what we can make. Is there something else which shouldn't be too difficult? The main idea is that we work with our Arduino Uno 3. And if possible, we kind of do want to use a couple of sensors. And these are the two project IDs I already had, but I think the oscilloscope is not really possible because we are working with our clock cycle, which are too slow, which we can solve by overclocking. But we also have the issue of our baud rate, and we cannot really solve that one. We could solve it half by simply... Oh, that's not what I want to do. Can't I type in here anymore? Apparently not. We can solve it half by simply having multiple Arduinos for each channel, but I think a baud rate still would be too few to do so. On the other hand, we can do a stream deck, which will be handy, but it's frankly speaking not interesting on hardware. It would not use any sensor. And the only way to really make it interesting is by adding scripts or using APIs, but then we're making it interesting through software, not hardware. So we can make our software interesting through scripts, and I can't even type anymore, and utilization of APIs. No, we are quite limited in our components, and I do not know which components I realistically speaking still can get, given the whole situation. But we have a couple of interesting bits and bobs, so I'm actually quickly going to open the box. We have an LCD screen, we have simple LED displays, we have a servo motor, we have some other motor, we have an infrared remote, which I will work with tomorrow actually, but just in a simulation as well. What is there still on the list? We have an active and a passive buzzer. Of course, we have some buttons, some resistors, a battery holder. We have a 4-digit 8-segment tube and a 1-digit 8-segment tube, which is not too interesting. We have the 8x8 dot matrix, which we could do something with. We have a photoresistor, we have an infrared receiver, a temperature sensor, a flame sensor, a vibration sensor, and that's mostly about it. So we don't really have anything to track position, for example, which we could solve by connecting it to a mobile phone. At the same time, that's not really practical because our Arduino needs power, and the easiest way to get that power is to just plug it in to a computer or either another source of power supply, which isn't a mobile phone, to be honest. Okay, so our question is, what are other interesting Arduino projects? Okay, that was kind of to be expected. We have an automatic hand sanitizer dispenser, which is kind of on the buzzwords, but not really what is that much needed or interesting, in my opinion. This is something practical for a bigger project. That's not all too interesting either. Okay. A pedometer, which is impractical as well. QR, but not really too great of an inspiration right away. Going to look at the cookies. This is bullshit that it takes that long. It shouldn't take that long for cookies, but well. All the corona related stuff, which we're not interested in that, to be honest. That is just a joke. It's a project I can get of anything, actually. How? That's cool. Like, solar panel monitoring is pretty neat. Finish line is probably it's doing, they're using a laser and they just detect when the connection is broken. Which, frankly speaking, is something too easy and not interesting for a project. Until lying the solar panel monitor. And maybe we just have to go for a stream deck and try to think what we need for that for now. So I'm going to open a notepad, and realistically speaking, for a stream deck to be functional, we have at least a couple buttons and functions, right? And those functions could be just switching scene, which requires an integration with Streamlabs, OBS, etc. Something which might be more difficult is displaying elements on a scene. Which requires the same. Should enlarge our notepad again. We could add some LEDs, which would go with the API and just go on when live, which would be an easy way to see if any of our multi-channels is actually not streaming. And I'm not sure actually what are the other functions of a Stream Deck. I could also make which is a trigger for okay, we're not sponsored by Elgato, but we are going to check out their Stream Deck. Because what functions does it really have? Because it has like a commercial button on it, new sub, which are mostly just triggering an element. The I am live on Twitter is actually handled by API right now, but if we could like open a tweet window within one button press, which is mostly software, so very much doable. These buttons are mostly soundboard or an image. If we make our own Stream Deck, it probably does not have changeable keycaps, but we can just put them under there once. Actually doing work for school, watching a classmate stream. Yes, yes, yes. Yeah, I know, man. Like, I have to stream something I didn't really feel like gaming today, so I'm trying to discuss what is possible. Because I have to do this project somehow, you know? Custom icons is something like we can print out the encasing with the 3D printer at one point, which is not a priority, but it's doable. Are there any other? Are there any other features like very illegal site, by the way, which is the Verge? We cannot cancel the cookies at all. Oh, yeah, but we can, but it's clear to state that the button should be the same and as big as the other one, but sure. This is too much of a hassle to opt out. So we have to go to 3 links already to just opt out of cookies. Nice. They're in breach of European law. Well then. Might have to report them later, but for now, I kind of want to do my research. You can also DJ with different sound effects. What for article is this? They are literally not... I guess it are just buttons in the end. Opening a folder isn't like difficult, right? We have hotkeys for that on our keyboard already, so clipping multiple clips. Actually clipping. Even though our new moderator dashboard for Twitch does kind of support it already. Are there any other cool projects? 5,271 projects. Seems fine, and probably like at least half of them are duplicates, right? Oh, we have exact same project on 3 sites already. This one we have seen as well, this one as well, this one as well. Is there anything cool you can do as well? Oh, it detects your fever. Maybe just not let people in the first place, that would work. Could also use the Arduino as an SQT server, but then again, we're not really using any sensors. This is pretty cool. Simple Sudoku solver. But is it purely code-based? Okay, so 2 Arduinos, backlight, potentiometer, infrared receiver, and infrared transmitter for the numbers. That is my cell phone. The code is not too long actually. Can we open Atom, which hopefully does not have code in there anymore. Probably will. It has. Do not worry about all of that. Nor this. We're just going to add a new file and we're going to quickly read the code. I'm not going to save it as CPP yet. So we're just working with matrices in matrices. Which does make sense. Okay. A Morse board. That is pretty cool as well, actually. A musical Geiger counter. This is a macro bar. Okay. I mean, this is basically the base of a Stream Deck, you know? Stream Decks are just macros. Arduino Leonardo. And some male-female jumper wires, of course. And this is just a straight up model. Hi Damien, how are you doing today? Can you just buy this model straight up, probably, right? They're really cheap as well, actually. Well, really, they're cheap. Could be better, how are you? Could be better, for sure. But I am still alive. So it could be worse as well, I guess. But how good are the keypads? I'm not sure if they will even like deliver this still now. Or how long it would take. Oh, each was... where were we? Okay. Well, the code is pretty self-explanatory, right? Push-up counter, which is just using this for ultrasonic sensor, right? Kemetis 430, is that ultrasonic? Didn't you already have a project, or am I mistaken? I did already have a project, but I'm pretty sure, given the situation that I have to do it alone now, and I can't leave my home, that isn't really possible before the deadline. So I'm considering to repick. Hence why I'm looking at ideas, because I did want to make an oscilloscope, but it also has some issues which I cannot really go around. An idea I had would be like to make a stream deck, but I'm not sure if that even is like a good project, you know. It has, hardware speaking, not really any challenges, you know. A talking cacti. Open cat. That's pretty cool actually. But this is way too complicated, especially since I can't use a 3D printer soon. I mean, for the stream deck I would also want to 3D print, but I can do it afterwards. I have to sign in to look at the components? Ah, come on. I mean, I can get ideas how it works, right? Home automation using Raspberry Pi 2 and a Windows 10. Well, I have to use the Arduino, so I could use the Arduino and the Raspberry Pi 3 combined, but is there any sciencey machine I could make, or any blacksmithing machine I could make with Arduino? Probably not so easy, right? Smoke detection using M2 gas, but I mean, if you want to do smoke detection, you could way easily work with like small radiation, to be honest. Idea is cool, but the motion is very rude. Very crude and not smooth at all. That is cool. Not allowed to read it, yeah. Sudoku solvers neat, but well, it does kind of use two sensors, doesn't it? It uses the potential meter and it uses the infrared transmitter and infrared receivers. But it's kind of a hassle. But I'll add it. I'll add it to the list. But it's not really, yeah, is it useful though? Not really. But we could say the same goes for the Morse board. And this is the same principle as the Stream Deck would be. Although for the Stream Deck I kind of want to add 3 LEDs. One in this wall. But we are not using any sensor at all. Like literally, if... Why does it copy everything outside of it? No, there is a copy button. Never mind, but... Like literally, it's basically it's just detecting which port something comes for. Pretty badly even. I mean, at least could have written it in a switch statement. I'm not really sure, to be honest. Um, Probably not going to find any result with this either, but because most of the blacksmithing tools are non-electronic and cannot really be electronic. Forge is not really possible. Can we make a cloud peltier? Well, actually, cloud peltier chamber doesn't really need any electronics either, does it? No, it does not. We could make a solvent beaker, but that would not be interesting either. I have to say, I'm kind of stuck on this. I was really putting my money on making the oscilloscope, to be fair. Mm. It uses 3 buttons, a nano which is less powerful than the Uno normally, but it does have wireless connection I think. And just a speaker, jumper wise and rubberboard, so to be honest, it's not really interesting either, is it? And the code is kinda a mess. Well, it isn't, but yeah. It is a cool project, but it's not really useful for my purposes. Waterfalls controlled by the Arduino. Pretty neat. A third eye for the blind. Pretty cool as well. Pushing data to Google. Ah, no. This could be useful. Just let me in. Come on. But wouldn't this just be an MQT server? Kinda would, wouldn't it? Because you make some script subscribe on the server and then just the server would push. That's about it, isn't it? I have to be honest, I can't expect this process to be smoother. Not going to lie. I'm not liking that I have to sign up to see the projects. So we're just going to switch side again. Because it does have the same projects. Anyway. That's the cat again. Using a Raspberry Pi and an Arduino. Yeah, I think this project might be a slightly bit too advanced. Which is understandable. Interface GPS model. Already did that once. It's not that fun, to be honest. I've worked with this model before, but what? The Nano one? Oh, it's a physical model, isn't it? Yes, it is. Well, we could still just order that module on Amazon or something and work with it if we want to. We're not looking to copy a project either, but we're looking for good ideas or inspiration, and we'll do our own take on it. We're pushing versus pull. Yeah, I've worked with this, and this wouldn't qualify as a good project for our course anyway. Even though it's pretty cool. Another cat. Arduino sonar is not anything special. A Telegram bot could be cool, but it's probably just pretty basic as well. Telegram bot library, which I have worked with before, or at least tried to, for one of my own projects on the side. So we connect the module to our Arduino, we plug in some resistors. We have a system ID, a password, and a bot password. And even though this gives way to a lot of useful things, yet again, I thought this will be enough on its own. Piece recognition, that's pretty cool. I've recently been thinking about something similar to this. Read switches. I've got a good product for you. What is your product, scarce? Getting a better haircut, getting purple hair as well. By the way, it looks pretty neat, because when I was younger I always thought of getting purple hair as well, and I never did, but it looks pretty good on you. Make a OnlyFans page. I have no idea what an OnlyFans is. What is this madness? I will look at it after stream properly, I guess. I have both an Arduino and a Raspberry Pi. I think I even have more recent versions of both. I am not familiar with a read switch, so I'm going to look that one up. I'm glad you're happy with your hair color then. Okay, let's look at this.
We start by first choosing options using the buttons according to a simple menu shown on this screen. We can choose things like setting the level, times, and playing black or playing human versus human. When ready to play, we just press the green button and we're off. Computer first checks to make sure all the pieces are on the right squares and aligned. In this case, square H1, it's not seeing a piece, so we move the piece back there and align it, and we're ready to play. We do so very simply by taking our first piece, lifting it, the light comes on, in this case under the E2 square. We put it down on E4 and it flashes to confirm. We're now waiting for black's move. It will flash a light under the square, the from square, in this case it's the pawn on D7. We lift that, the light goes out, flashes on D5. It's now white's move.
This is a cool project, but I'm not sure I can make the board in its entirety before the deadline. And without the board it's kinda useless, isn't it? Your mom makes your hairdresser appointments. Yeah, well, you're a grown-up adult, so you can call for a hairdresser if you really needs to. But I would recommend dyeing your hair by a hairdresser and not doing it yourself, because it can be pretty horrible. Hey, this is basically what we did, but without a tutorial, and we had a website that worked on it as well. Well, you're almost an adult. You're old enough to call with a phone, at least, I'll give you that. Mm, why is the Stream Deck still the best option, even though it's a bad option? Physically, yes. Mentally, no. Well, you really should, like, calling, like, a hairdresser or making an appointment is not hard. I mean, paying for it is, but if you just get your parents used to the fact that you will arrange your own appointments for that, then they will happily pay for it as well. Oh yeah, he's using the robot arm for the right things. T. even though it's a shitty tea bag, but I'll take it. Mini weather station. But that's... Is that really like... We're using the Wi-Fi model, we're using Arduino Proto Shield, which is basically a breadboard. Temperature sensor, light sensor, ultraviolet sensor, a barometer, and a dust sensor. Never seen that one before. And just some resistors and jumper wires. So we read out the sensors, we go to the Wi-Fi module and we just pass it to a domain or an address, right? Yeah. This might be a decent project ID for the course, but I don't really feel like it. Hmm. It's for the birds. Okay, just to enter our specific requirements. We have to use the Arduino. I think we have to use 2 sensors, preferably. So we can pretty much do anything, but like... It should be of like... a decent difficulty, not like beginner's difficulty, but not super advanced either, but yeah. And I kind of want to make my projects useful in a way. I really hate to make something physically which has no use at all. And that comes from the man who made a randomizer to decide which meat I would like with my fries. But that application had a very specific use. So just making the most random ass game, which isn't like fun. What are you even doing? Well, I have an Arduino Uno 3 and I have to make a project with it. At first my plans was to make an oscilloscope together with my partner. Problem is, since we are not really allowed to go to college entirely, and I'm not really allowed to visit the labos, this project is not really feasible. It was not really feasible before, but because to make a real oscilloscope or clock cycle were too slow. Are you using paint? Yes. And our baud rate was too slow. But we could still make like a prototype project from it. But it required kind of a lot of maths, a lot of work, and since I have to do it now solo instead of with 2 because we cannot meet up anymore, I do not think I can make a feasible prototype project in the time. The other thing I thought about is a Stream Deck, but a Stream Deck is pretty boring because you can make it as fancy as you want, but in the end, the Stream Deck is just a series of buttons. And even though I thought to do something like Okay, I thought to do something like this. Let's take the keypad for like the buttons, yeah. I will connect it up, and I would even add some LEDs, and I would make probably about 3 LEDs on it, and we give our keypad or Stream Deck a lot of different functions, which can be things like switching a scene in Streamlabs, which looks like this, blub blub, which I now have to do manually. It could be displaying an element, which would be as simple as, for example, displaying or de-displaying the follower goal, which I now broke, I think. No, it's back. Soundboard, opening a tweet, clipping, and the LEDs would be for when my specific channels would be live. They would light up, one would indicate Twitch, one would indicate YouTube, one would indicate Mixer, and one would indicate my suffering to live. But even though this project is on the software side kinda interesting, I think this course kinda requires us to make it on the hardware side interesting as well. And even though you could say each of these buttons is in theory a sensor, it kinda isn't. Because sensors with something like a potentiometer, which basically is a fancy thing which decides what position the middle thing is in. This is not going to work, but like this gives an input based on where the meter is, which we actually had to use in our task this week. And other things will be an infrared sensor, or a peer sensor, and these all have very specific functions, but you can make cool projects with combining them. Now, I can't really think of a project I would like to do which just use the sensors and is still useful. At the same time, an oscilloscope does not really use those sensors either. And my lecturer told me it was a good project. But an oscilloscope is more interesting on the part that it's not as simple as just writing your code, because you also have to work with the display of your graphs, and you have to choose your math cleverly, because first of all, I think our baud rate is limited to 1100 or 11k 500, I think, which is too low. So we would have to go around it, and we would have to make our cycle pretty smart, because cycle on, well, power kinda go like this, and we have to choose our specific points from which we take what is the right word? We would have to pick our points we calculate and measure or graph smartly, because we cannot do it very often because of our clock cycle. And even if we could, damper waves, of course. Even if we could, we are still limited by our baud rate, because our clock cycle we could solve by simply overclocking the Arduino, which is not really the most basic thing, but it's possible. And the problem is, if our measurements follow wrong points, our image and our graph will be very inaccurate. A baud rate is how many bits we can send out a second. So that's the wrong one. Our Arduino is connected to our computer. Our Arduino has no graphical display. We have an LCD display, but this is still way too limited to display graphs. There exist displays which could display a graph, but those are like 75 euros at least for a very small screen. So we wanted to go around by that problem by splitting up the oscilloscope in two parts, which would be the Arduino part and our PC. Simply displaying the graphs on the PC would save us money, but down we cannot send our data fast enough to PC because the Arduino is limited at that. Also, one thing which is kind of important is most oscilloscopes have at least two channels. Now, to be strictly honest, actually each channel on an oscilloscope are two channels. So we thought to split up our two channels, which would be our black and our red one, which are slightly different. And for each of them, we would have maybe up to two Arduinos, because our actual point zero would be somewhere around here. We always have an up and we always have a negative down to counteract it. Our idea was to have all the positive measurements handled by one Arduino, very pro paint skills, and all our negative measurements handled by a second Arduino. And together they would make the image of one single channel. We would limit ourselves at one channel, but it will be easily expandable to two channels by just adding two more Arduinos. Now, one cycle for our interval to go up and down is our frequency, and to have an accurate image for oscilloscope, we have to have at least one measurement. Actually, I think 1.5 measurements is way better per cycle of our graph. The problem is that our domain for oscilloscope would be kind of limited because we need more than one measurement. Actually, sorry, that's the wrong position. We need like one measurement at least in like the interval of it going up and down to have an accurate image. There is like a whole mathematical theory about it, why it isn't accurate if you have fewer measurements, which I cannot explain fully too well, and I won't go into it too much. But we spent in college before the corona times like a few hours behind, like after classes, discussing it with our lecturer, and he agreed it was a cool project. He agreed our oscilloscope will be very limited. You're only kind of losing me, yeah. So I'm not going to deep in that, but it would be more a thing of like proving it is possible and proving, hey, we can do this even though our equipment is too cheap, so it cannot handle accurate enough measurements. But here is how it works. Here is how it looks for very bad, like very low frequency. No. Yeah, very low frequencies. Because those we could display like approximate. The idea was that like my partner would mostly work. Well, we hadn't really decided, but I will do the logic from getting or measurements into the graph display, which is not too easy, but I was fairly confident I could do it with like just looking a few things up. Now, I'm not sure how well as a project my lecturer would receive the Stream Deck. Mostly because even though you can do some cool things about it, because you can put scripts on it, for example, checking that a channel is live, switching scenes in Streamlabs and OBS, which I kind of suspect there is an API for. Very possible there isn't, but since Stream Decks are kind of a thing already, there should be a way to go about it. What about the Sudoku solver? Well, that's a project we found, and it is kind of smart. That's a Stream Deck one. I think this is a Sudoku one. Yes, this is a Sudoku one. Let me quickly make it a little bit more readable for you guys. We're going to which folder can I quickly paste it in without me losing it? Okay, I'm just going to make it in the repositories folder. And it's sudoku.cpp probably. There we go. So the basic principle is actually not that complicated. Okay, just to be clear, I probably think you all will know what Sudoku is like, but basically we have a grid, and in that grid we have separate rows and we have separate columns. The only difficulty about Sudoku is making sure that each character, which is just a number, does not find itself multiple times in the same column or the same row. And you can actually check that pretty quickly by doing maths. The problem is, for the human brain, we see like random numbers in a grid and we have to think a lot about it, but a script can just go over all the possible states and find the one state in which each number only comes for one. You forgot the squares. Yeah, the squares are a thing, but for the easier Sudokus, the squares don't really matter. For harder ones, it does. But it follows the same principle, of course, because it will be a 3x3 square. Well, since we're doing it anyway. Okay, so our number has to be unique both in its quadrant, which is our square. It has to be unique in its row, and it has to be unique in its column, which are three main stages, you could say. Now, we can very easily display our numbers by putting them in an array, and our array notation is made with our square brackets. And since we have multiple arrays, you could say, we will put simply like row by row by row by row by row. Each row will be its own array, and then we have an array which contains all the row arrays. If that makes any sense. So this is basically the notation of how many rows and columns there would be. We're defining how big our array containing arrays is. The bot is doing something fishy again. Can I disable the bot from the control panel? He has been acting weird lately again. I'm pretty sure I even turned off the moderation of 9bot. Give me a second. Ba, 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 bum. It probably got triggered because of the link, but I'll open the link. Okay, yeah, this is a little bit more advanced, but well, this site is also in breach of federal law, but it is the same concept, really, but you're just stacking Sudoku and Sudoku and Sudoku, you know? Because this is a separate Sudoku, 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 but there is overlap. Yeah. Wait. So for the Arduino solver, actually, I'm not sure. Approx. Well, first of all, it differs on the internal clock speed, and it has a clock cycle and how much it can do in a clock cycle. Most basic instructions it can do are like multiple clock cycles already, which can differ from literally 1 clock cycle to 37 clock cycles, but they happen really fast. And since I have not really written this code myself, nor run it, I am not sure how effective and efficient it is. It probably can be made way more efficient by adding rules, but I do not think that solving the Sudoku would take too long, probably like 10 seconds most, which is a very broad guess. Well, no, it will take more because we're waiting almost 10 seconds for this, but sorry, no, we're not waiting. We're waiting here. 2000 milliseconds, so we're waiting 2 seconds there. That's our baud rate, sorry, which is not too high actually. We're printing it on the LCD screen in 2 rows. We set our cursor on our first position, which will be this field. It's not too difficult. Okay, let me quickly, do we have it open here still? Right? No. I kinda hoped it would download as a real schematic. Okay, let us quickly go about this. So it does require quite a bit of wiring, but okay, there we go for my OCD. And it does also use some different components, which are a 10 kilo ohm potentiometer. So now there, look at your tabs, how much RAM you got. Is it 8 or is it only 6? And I do have more tabs on my left screen and also on my different desktop environments. I mean, I could open my DXDX, but I'm not really sure I should do that because I'm pretty sure my system name is included in there, which would not be the best thing to share on stream. Oh yeah, the no. You can always twist Twitch chat, yeah, but I'm using right now, and I may do some stuff on the internet, which is not always the best to do on the internet. And how are our connections looking? Okay, the schematic is not the most clearest of things, I will not lie about that. But mostly something like this. We have how many they're not labeled on the schematic, the pins. Come on. One, two, three, four, five, six. So we're going from A to 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, which is our enable port. We'll put it on orange as well. Tell us more. I do delve into the deep net sometimes, and I do search things up, which interests me, because I'm still up for using one of my garden sheds as a small science lab and blacksmithing a workplace actually. And I think it was literally 2 days ago I was looking up things like this. Or maybe I should. Does it really bother? Okay, maybe I should just do this to be safe. Okay, it's not going to help anything, but sure, here we go. And then you look things up like which was a fancy way of glass, which used to be really legal before the World Wars. Then it was kind of aborted because all the uranium was repurposed for nuclear weapons. and now it's kind of legal again, but you cannot really buy it. The problem is, this kind of leads to the following question. How to refine uranium? How to refine uranium? Which is not difficult, but governments do not really appreciate you looking up how you refine uranium and all, is what I found out. So yeah. Nor do they doesn't sound that safe. It's safe-ish. The thing is, you're using like such a low level of uranium into glass. It does not really matter at that point, but it still is like glow in the dark. It is fluorescent in ultraviolet light. S if you add ish, yeah, no. Yeah, look, right. Uh, yeah, good enough. Like, how much does a banana release? Where does particles? Um, and just wants the number. Okay, so I'm going to copy it because I always misspell it. Doesn't, but searching things up about renaming glass is kind of difficult because people do not really like to have much information about it, which I found out yesterday as well. See, all of these are like uranium glasses. Um, yes, you can drink from it and you will not die much faster than you will usually die, but like literally, I think this is a video I watched yesterday as well, which is a good video. Ignore the Dutch advertisement. When I'm not logged into my account, it
This video has been sponsored by Brilliant. Sometime last year was the first time that I heard about uranium glass, and I really yellow, fluoresces, and it makes search. This kind of as far as I know, if you want to get some uranium glass, you really can.
how much will it cost to buy one from you? I'm not going to make uranium glass straight away, but something I would like to make one day is a cloud peltier chamber. Which is pretty cool. I'm not sure if you're familiar with it, but it basically visualizes, it visualizes two types of radiation, I think alpha and beta, but not gamma. I'm not sure which ones they are. It's not too difficult to make. You can see like the particles
Is a piece of radioactive material
shooting off.
called a cloud chamber. Each of those little trails is the wake left behind by a particle of radiation known as an alpha particle.
Okay, you can see the alpha, so it is the beta you can see as well, I think, and not the gamma. Anyway, that aside, the first idea, yeah, it looks kind of dope, and the way it works is you super cool alcohol vapor, and you make it into a vacuum, and you have your radioactive thing. Wait, so if you want to make one of these, I'm gonna need something radioactive to use it. Scarce, do you have a smoke detector in your home? No. Well, you can fairly easily buy smoke detectors. And a smoke detector uses what is the part? It's from plutonium. Here we go again. Yes, it's Americarium-241. And it's a derivation of plutonium. It's pretty radioactive, but not really radioactive. Thing is, it's stored into a capsule. If you do not break the capsule, you're safe. If you break the capsule, you're not so safe. That's the point, but everything is radioactive. Even if you made a cloud pelter chamber without putting anything in it, you will occasionally see the particles. The particle trail shooting across, not the particles, because you cannot see the particles. So you want... I want what? From a clumsy guy that he goes to a store and buy one. Well, you can just order them online, to be honest. Do you want me to die? Now, if you really want to give your local government a run for their money, you'll have to buy like 700 of these, and it is possible to turn Mercurian-241 back into its plutonium state, if I'm not mistaken. Can we go to English? Thank you. You know too much about this. I know a lot about a lot. I'm just saying you can make affordable nuclear weapons if you have a company which produces smoke detectors. That's all I'm saying. But there are also more interesting things we can do, which are a little bit more advanced. And I'll actually have to go to my sciencey Discord thingy. Where is it? Ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-bam. Oh, I didn't save it there. I did save it into the other Discord. Not the TNG. Okay, here we go. into the fun we go. So it's a lot of words. It's adaptive flight control with living neural networks on micrological arrays, which basically means we take lab-grown brain cells, neurons, and we can read out impulses from it. They used it to teach a red brain to fly a flying simulator. And the paper is pretty long, not so long, sorry, but it's kind of impressive. And it is actually not so difficult to do it yourself at home. But like, I think 1 million neural cells will cost you about $600. Or was it 60? I do not remember, it's a long time ago I looked it up. But it's a pretty cool project. It also takes a while. Of course I wasn't going to do this one straight away, but... I was also looking into furnaces for blacksmithing lately. A fun project would be... student arrested for trying to make a nuke and he will succeed. It is not so difficult to make a nuke. It is more difficult to do it without getting arrested. Yeah, that's for sure a thing, yeah. Like, a nuclear weapon in itself is not so super impressive, you know? Honestly, would Sealor do that? Nah, I will never do that. I will never get arrested. What are you guys thinking? By the time they're on to me, I'm already in fucking Canada. Telling you now. Getting arrested maybe not easy, clever enough to find a way around it. Exactly. If I'm clever enough to get invited to a AI convention, which costs you like 300 to 500 euros to visit, and they would invite me to speak there, even though I'm not really following any AI courses yet. But making a nuke, yeah, I'm surprised he hasn't done that yet. Well, to be honest, you could also just make a hydrogen bomb, which is cooler than a nuke, in my opinion. Or if you could somehow find a way to make a nuclear fission bomb, are you going to go, no, it is already passed, but I decline because I do not know enough to go and speak to something where people pay a lot of money for to go to, you know? I'm not going to scam them. So this is like the whole remote and making sure protection needs to be performed. This is for entering the Sudoku one in. I mean, I think I have some cool projects which I wanted to do, realistically speaking, someday. Into my project IDs. Of course, the battery, the sulfur battery, which is kind of postponed because it's a chemical process. Just a general power supply or power generator. I wanted to make a laser which is truly powerful. And the cloud pelto chamber. And for the rest, I don't really had too much things on it. To be fair, we can we like forget Sudoku and tell me more about the hydrogen bomb? Well, I'm not sure I should do that on stream again. But if you want to go and talk about the sciencey parts, this is a paper. Oh, it does not open because I'm not logged in. Okay, give me uno segundo. I recently got myself hands on a paper for global diseases. This was before Corona, by the way, and it had some quite interesting topics in it. The only question remains whether they save the paper. Huh. You know what supported I will be fan of? What supported you will be fan of? I mean, wait. Cyanide cookies. Cyanide cookies are not so hard to do. Like, almond cookies. Yeah. Well, cyanide cookies are cool, but okay, wait. I'm quickly going to save this very horrible sketch as something. Sure. Sure. We go to the desktop. Just going to put it in here. Okay, but. Okay, but with cyanide cookies, you basically need a few things, okay? First of all, we need a cookie recipe. And I misspelled cookies because I was trying to be fast. Damn it. Okay, so for this we can very easily chocolate chip cookies. And it keeps on jumping to Dutch, but there we go. So we have a recipe, right? Now we need about, so that's our first ingredient, right? Maybe we need an image. That's not, yeah, these cookies. Yeah, thank you. Bam. These cookies, yeah. Second part that we need, very important, is 16 apples. Bam. Nice. Okay, here we go. 16, yes, 16 apples. Very specific, I know. Bam. Third part we need Yeah, you can get cyanide easier, but you have to do it the fun way, you know. Third part we need is cigarettes. I think 2 boxes or something. And these are the ingredients for cyanide cookies. Well, the cyanide in apples is too low though. Well, yes, but you can extract it. And if you combine it with something else like nicotine, through very simple chemical processes, you can make a lethal dose. How do we know this? Well, may I present to you kindergarten. And I misspelled that, but that does not matter. I think I think it's in 2, not sure. Have I played either of these games? No, but still. I'm so confused right now. Like, wait. Yeah, fine. Normally it's like 20, but okay, we can make it better. See, core are very, very trustworthy, of course. Where is the good response? Damn it. And actually, I think you can also use the cigarettes for 2 parts. Part 1 is the nicotine, and part 2 is the filler. But let's maybe not encourage people to make cyanide cookies. Bad idea. Okay, I'm too hungry. Very right, gonna grab some food. I might be running upstream and going to do some research for my projects in the background. Or I could stream something else, because I have some things to think about before I started a project for real, I think. Hmm. Hmm. Going to free up some RAM first. Okay, I will pause stream. I will go to the toilet and I will think about some game or something we can stream when we come back, if that is fine for everyone. And we can still chat a little bit in between. I'll try to think of a game which does not require my attention too much. But I'll be right back, and I'll now press on my totally done Arduino Stream Deck, and I'll switch scene to the pause screen. And as simple as that, it should select BAM pause. Okay, be right back, guys. Alrighty. I am back. Seems like you guys wanted some Stellaris. We'll just chat a little bit while we do that. Let me actually first of all launch Steam. I am going to lurk. Okay, that's fine, Damien. I have an offline mode on Steam. Why is that? I'm not signed in. You've got your food? Okay, okay, here's Steam. These are my currently installed games. Not all of them are quite updated. Should delete some more. Actually. Stellaris? Yeah, Stellaris is fine. Boom. I do have the free DLCs and I do have the Federation DLC. Because Paradox Games was so kind to give me the DLC for free. I might have to update the stream title on Twitch though. Same goes for the category. And I should do YouTube as well, but YouTube is an enigma on how it works to everyone. So we'll just do it like this. I do hope the follower goal is not blocking anything important. Actually, maybe let's do this, if this one works better. Only date, yeah, date and game speed. Okay, this one is not, okay, this works. Oh. Well, this is my dedicated Stellaris scene, which I just turned on. Apparently my follower goal is on the same place, so... Although maybe the bottom right would be a better place, now that I think of it. Is there anything in the bottom right? I can't really think of something. Let's move it. Something like this? Yeah, seems fine. If it is blocking anything, I'll just move it back, but I think this might be a better spot than the top right, anyway. Maybe it's gonna cover a bit of the map. Yeah, but... The top left is kinda important, we have like all the bars there. The whole left side, and then the bottom left, maybe. But you have the quick menus, even though I do not really use them. I mean, probably I should, but... Nah. Okay, this one was on stream a while ago. This one is like one of my longest save games, but it should be almost done. So do not know if you guys would like one of these two or want to see a new one. This one was at the day before the Federation DLC released. I tried this one to try out the Federation DLCs, but they actually updated, like, this game version is updated to the Federation as well now, even though it was kind of weird. And for this one we have the Ring World habitat starter world from the Federation that I know. The rest are online saves, I think. Yeah. What do you guys want? Do you want to see me getting slaughtered by endgame crises and fallen empires? Are you familiar with the Federation DLC scares? Or are you questioning what the Ring World 1 is in its entirety? Yes. Okay, yeah. I mean, we can do this one. Fluid selected. The one I definitely do want to try sometime is the Federation Doomsday Planet, but I feel like that's a pretty hard one to do. Okay, what was happening over here? Our fleets are very weak. Are there any claims on one of my systems? No, I do not think it was good, but it used to be worse. We used to be like very negative in our production. Okay, we have neutral fleets. And at least we have enough jobs and stuff. So we're not doing so bad either. Can I ask about your species? I threw something quick together when I made this. Sorry, situation log might be easier to do with. We're 6th. Okay. So we are Imperials, we are Materialists, and we are Fanatic Spiritualists. I kinda hoped to get our monthly unity cracking so we could get our traditions going quicker, but I do not know if that really is the case. We do have one vision, technological, and consecrated worlds. Which I'm not sure why we have this one. Did I really pick that one? Apparently I did. Okay, so we're colonizing this planet, I think. Our empire sprawl is good. Do you really usually... This is quite random, to be honest. But my civics... I did like efficient bureaucracy because you really get punished for the empire sprawl now with the federations. It used to be like you could go way over them and it wouldn't mean anything. Right now, if you go over it, you do get punished pretty fast. The other civics are kind of random, depending on what I need. And I do like to go tech heavy normally, but I do not think we are tech heavy at this point. All two our neighbors are not doing... I think this one was our friend, if I'm not mistaken. Friendly. Actually not doing too bad. This is a full empire, right? Yeah. Let communists overtake the galaxy. This one is hostile, but it is inferior. I think we were doing pretty bad until we got like additional ring world districts going up. Because our main system does not produce any energy credits at all. Capitalism should rule the galaxy. My old save is capitalism, but it's capitalism with strong armies. We really should like get another section up soonish, but our alloy production is pretty weak. But so is our fleets. How are our fleets so weak in our stations? How about weep space communist to empire rise? We only have 2 shipyards. We have like no sector here yet. Even though we have 2 plants almost here. Okay, we're just going to go in it at fast speed. We do have like the Galactic Council, which is kind of a weird situation still. And I might even... Okay, my envoys have assignments. Good. But we do have alloys. We have to go ahead our fleet size up.
Construction complete.
Okay, well, we went over Empire Sprawl, so we're going to go 1 down quickly. Probably go upgrade here. We should be safe for our crystals still. Although we might want to up our production of that if we can. Or we can get more temples. We get an additional temple here. Do something about our Empire Sprawl a little bit more. I should work on like focusing my planets for a specific need, which is something I tried to do in my last game. Because right now it's quite random, isn't it? I'm trying to remember what happened with this save. Other than the fact that this dude didn't really like me. I think this one, and this one hated me. But this one liked me. But do they still hate me? Like, he's friendly now. I mean, he is only suspicious. He does not really like me though. How is our political power doing? Not too bad. But we can be better. We have weird stuff on this planet, to be honest. Probably do the plasma shower. And I should try to work on additional envoys. Oh yeah, he kinda co-blocked me and I really expanded fast to this side and then grabbed his system so I could not expand anymore from this side. So I had to expand this side. I remember. So I have like this space to expand to and that's about it. And then it is war. Oh, that's one of my other thingies, isn't it? Just declare war and kill him. Yeah, but he has a lot of friends. And has an equivalent fleet power at the moment. So we might just work on military tech, fleet up, and kill him. Then we take like Trappist, the Maelstrom, and Kokhan, and we'll leave him Demirius. He can have it. Oh, yeah, or cultists were there as well. Yeah, I can't really kill them, can I? At this point. Going to get this fleet upgraded, and we're going to get this fleet upgrade as well. If we can't really make more, we can at least make sure they're the strongest they can be. Why do we have a construction ship just chilling? Collect the Physics Research Society, and we can afford to go for the minerals as well. We're all fine now. I used to just produce a shit ton of food and sell it, and that was my only way I really could survive. I mean, you guys need work. Collective waste. How good is our economy? Not doing too good. But I kind of want to support this. Why would we ban the use of world crackers? Why would we ban all the fun? Nah, we're not banning fun. Basically makes it harder to have a big empire, but economic weight is really important. But our economic weight, is it good? I mean, yeah, imagine banning fun. Why would we do that? Our friend is equivalent in fleet and economy, not in science, but the good thing about this is, like, if we ever need more science, we just press this button and we get like 20 more science jobs going. The Gorf bot.
Colony established.
Nice, we have a new colony. You guys can go work in the mines if you would. Thank you. Oh, quickly going to sell consumer goods. But this means we could definitely afford ourselves to transform more consumer goods in something else. Like Unity and Melodies, for example. But does any planet have low amenities? Yes. So we quickly buy ourselves just a few more minerals. and we get ourselves a holo theater, and after that some more bureaucrats. Thank you. We can already upgrade our fleet again. Our other fleet can support 4 more, so boom. Collected first projection might be a good thing. Defender of the Galaxy is also important. I did pick up that way too late last time. If we're going to defensive. Diplomatic weight is nice. Administrativity cap is also nice. Addict duration is also nice. Transcendent learning should be nice, but I kinda never use it, to be honest. Galactic contender. Yeah, it is nice, isn't it? It's like... I think it's time to become the Senate, right? Like, we get more diplomatic weight, so we go way more ahead. Our friends are third, and we are first. And these guys are second. They're all the way over here. They have a superior fleet and an equivalent economy, but I have inferior tech. We just stack up and win the game, right?
Ships upgraded.
Where is the second Fallen Empire, actually? Or is there only one? That one is a... Oh, is this a Fallen Empire? Yes. What do you guys want? Oh, those are the tech guys as well, right? I usually go tech heavy. Yeah, tech is usually overpowered in any kind of these games. It is in Civ, it is in Stellaris. Last time the tech Fallen Empire in the other save kinda started to screw me over. Like,
Research complete.
an endgame crisis spawned the Unbidden. I was like the only one who accepted Fallen Empires with fleets strong enough to kinda contest them. I'm go to contest them,
Complete.
and one of my Federation... Sorry, the Fallen Empire declares war on one of my Federation members while my fleets are like in the Fallen Empire. The Unbidden are the least fun. Yeah, I was doing really well against them, Dave. And then, like, the Fallen Empire declared war on, like, a small empire like this, which was in my Federation. So I got war while, like, 2 of my 6k fleets were in their land. They immediately jumped on it with their 130k fleets, killed it. The Unbidden is now expanding, the Fallen Empire is now taking my land, and my Federation is, like, just fucking around with my fleets. So, yeah. Nice times. I'm pretty sure that game is about to end, but... I killed a few Unbidden fleets, I killed some of the systems, but... And the most fun thing about it was the Unbidden spawned right next to the Fallen Empire. The Fallen Empire lost systems to the Unbidden. The Fallen Empire didn't do shit about the Unbidden. They just let them do. And let them be. Maybe I should put like just an additional robot assembly point. I mean, robots are pretty good for me, I think. Um, Collective wave, yeah, that's the one I wanted. Not sure if I do want this one. Yeah, we're not going to repeal that. 5 years plan. Diplomatic ways from pop worker hub. I kind of, yeah, that's good. I mean, I should get more pop as well. Can I really afford to get myself another system? I can, right? I definitely can. Ooh. Okay, we're going to read this through quickly. We can remove some volcano blockers. Food processing, but food is fine. The fortress building or more administrative cap. The fortress, probably the fortress, right? Although this one is nice as well. I'll go for the fortress first. We hope bureaucracy is still available afterwards. We are losing rare crystals, so I should do something about it. Which system should we expand to? We have, I kind of want that one, but that's not an option right now. But we could expand to this one, this one, this one, this one, this one, and this one. We have 8 energy credits. We have energy credits minerals. We have energy credits physics engineering. Energy credits physics. Clean up the Gaia world. Which ones are you guys? Are they going to... As long as I do not settle on it, it should be fine, right? Because there is a pretty significant chance this is one of their holy worlds. But we can be cocky and just grab it. Probably shouldn't settle it right away though. How big is our fleet here? We can make it a little bit bigger. But it's already getting bigger, okay. Crystals. And a temple, why not? High Garden should also have a temple. And some crystals. And also a temple. Or capital does not have a temple, or capital should have a temple. We're all praying to our Jesus. Pray for our Jesus. Let the endgame crisis this time do not spawn inside my empire. Let the AIs deal with it, not me. I'll come and collect the rewards for it, sure, but...
Incoming transmission.
Ooh. Well, 2 points, okay. Our left friends want us to form a federation. And the dimensional portal on Lost Plains. And Lost Plains is one of our faraway colonies over here. I think it is this one. And also a job. Okay. There are spiritualists as well. But yeah, let's form the Church of Doom. Let's go.
Federation formed.
The XP we can solve, that's not a problem.
Situation log updated.
Yes, Church of Doom. I see nothing wrong with the Church of Doom. Why is there crime? What are you doing with crime, mate? No crime allowed. We had a thingy here. What tech are we researching? I kinda want... no, it's 4 months delay. I'll take it. Okay. So, Spiritualist, Fallen Empire.
War declared.
What? Oh, not on me. Wait. Water fighting. Huh? Oh, this one, of course. Relations with the Dungeon Kingdom. We can just assign this one. Accept. There we go. And in just a bit our XP should be in the positive.
Special project complete.
It just takes a little bit of time, don't worry. Fascinating. Nice. Just a bit we can do like the incursion and...
Research complete.
Okay, wait. Maybe we have to read this one. We are in favor from this one, right? More alloys, more minerals, less habitability, more resources. Yeah, let's say we are in favor. I'm not sure how we're doing on the pop department. Does this say number of pops? Yes, it does. So we have 572. Dungeon Kingdom is more. Our friends have more. They also have more. We should get more pop, because we're not entirely ahead of everyone on that. Bigger fleets. More energy. And probably as well some exotic gas. Wait, I cannot make the exotic gas refinery yet. Never mind then. Hmm.
transmission.
You're also spiritualist? Yes, you may join us. Become a Church of Doom member. We have cool benefits like armbands and a cool song, I guess. There may be t-shirts. We'll work on t-shirts. Sounds like a pretty sick metal band, Church of Doom. That one. Ow. I'm pretty sure. Wait. Okay. Wait. Eh. Um. There we go. It's not a band. It's a festival, or I think the title is still up for grabs if you want it. Church of Misery is a band. Church of Doom is up for grabs. That's mine now. We'll get a metal band for or cool religious federation. What does your federation have? Metal bands? No. Only we have metal bands. And jazz bands. Ooh.
Research complete.
Church of Doom or metal band, and Church of Paradise or jazz band. Yes.
Research complete.
Citadel, quantum missiles. Plasma thruster, we're gonna catch up. I play bass, Crimpy plays the drums, so we only need a singer and a guitarist. I'm not going to sing, but I can play the guitar. But I was playing guitar with someone else lately, just like a little bit freestyling it. Bigger fleets! Someone insulted us? How dare you! Heh. Take that. Or their equivalent again.
Ships upgraded.
Can we get a cool admiral? Less ship upkeep. Ooh,
Construction complete.
ooh, ooh, yes. More weapon range. Yes, yes, scary fleet. Okay, fam, I'm off to sleep. Have a good time. Oh. Good night, Scares. It was fun having you here. God bless the Church of Doom. Yes, indeed. Embassy complex. More envoys. Yes, please. And also upgrade to a fortress. When can I upgrade my temple? Wait, they were fighting with them, and they have a status quo? Alright then. Alright, we're getting XP for our Federation. Someone died. 113. Good age to have. A shame it had to die. Give me more sciencey things, and give me more this. Give me more this as well, and give me more this as well. Yeah, you can grab that out. Well, at least visit it. There's not much else it can do at this point. Maybe I should colonize like the ocean world with just robots.
Research complete.
Okay, ooh, this one is this one is a tough one. We can either pick the administrative complex, which upgrades our currently bureaucratic centers. We can get less war exhaustion gain, which is really good. Less claim influence cost, which is also good. We can get the off-world trading company, which is also good. Or we can get combat training. And I kind of feel like the Galactic Campaign still wins in this one, right? Right? Yeah.
Research complete.
Okay, wait, we're quickly going to pause. We are going to pick our tech here as well. We might upgrade the railgun. We are going to upgrade our Starhold. disruption field. Missile battery and gun battery. And then we get ourselves some upgraded defense platforms as well.
Research complete.
And our research is complete. Particle lens. Yeah, let's go for the particle lens. Can I even get ourselves some Federation ships at this point already? Oh no, it's not enabled for a Federation, okay. Cruisers. Yeah, let's get ourselves a couple of battleships.
Construction complete.
I can merge my fleets to make one bigger fleet. How many allies do you have? Not really any at this point, do you? And I think I really could take him on, to be honest. Like, okay, it's equivalent, but our tech should be higher. So if our fleet is updated to the latest tech, and we play it kind of smart, we should be able to win, right? Like, how strong is this station? It's only 2k. And realistically speaking, we could throw a 10k fleet against that. Volatile modes. Well, but I'm against it. What?
Research complete. Ships upgraded.
Okay, which tech should be best? Citadel is really defensive. Destroy hull points by 200 and cast cannon. Or a mega cannon. Or armor torpedoes. Kinda like the sound of the cast cannon. I guess support that one. Oh. Wait, who are we? We have the Rotak Alliance, which is over there. Oh. I mean, sure.
War declared.
You may go and kill them.
Ships upgraded.
I mean, you should be able to do that with like your own tiny fleet, right?
Ships upgraded.
So they defend each other, and I kind of want to go more him. But can he really do anything about that? 12k points, boom, nice. He's superior in fleet power, and he has a defensive alliance now. And I'm not sure like where his wormholes would connect, and he has quite a lot of them. It's a tough choice. Either we go for diplomacy. I feel supremacy, right? Oh, we have a small overpopulation here. And I should actually select this planet, give it a sector, give it a governor. And it hopefully encapsulates both. Yes, it does. That would make this region a little bit more stable.
Ships upgraded.
And I kinda want to wear the arm. Like, even if I could just take this system and grab this one. These three, actually. But then we have a pretty massive border with them. Yeah, so they are friends with them, so they just like us. But we can make...
Research complete.
Um... Hmm... Secrets of Life will be nice, but it's pretty hefty price at the moment. So is Manifest of Destiny, and we don't really need that more star bases at the moment. More naval cap or battle leaders does sound good. Think we go for battle leaders because it's cheaper at the moment. Okay, they have a bigger fleet, but they have inferior attack. Which honestly just means that we should do this. Oh, what was a scientist? Can we get one which is good? I'll take this one, why not? Okay, we have some alloys now. Three battleships. Yeah, that seems good.
Ships upgraded.
Yeah, more of these battleships. Because the battleship alone gives like 1,000 fleet power at the moment, right? Oh, yes it does. So 3 more battleships would mean I can probably roll into Trappist and take it for myself. My only worry is that one of these 2 wormholes directly connects to one of his. Okay, why are we not invading this planet yet? No, I think it just freed itself again.
Research complete.
Ah, it is no use to go all the way through. No. They just have some stability issues, it seems like. I mean, I had some as well, but we kind of solved that. Oops. Kinda meant to do this. Well, yeah. If you form a galactic council now, I will probably be in it, right? Yes, I support. Yeah, we'll build my battleships and I will go upgrade my fleets. You can have a cruiser. Okay, nice, you have it. Okay, so that's one war we did.
Declared.
Can I just declare... Okay, wait. First of all, we make a claim. These are good systems. Very good systems. But we go for just one, right? Oh my god. Oh, ooh. Oh, those worlds though. Maybe take this one as well so they can not really go for those. Not sure if
We
my
have
ally...
declared war.
Oh yes, my ally does vote. Okay, I hope we can do it good enough. I should maybe start recruiting some armies.
Research complete.
New research will take... we can take that system. I don't know where his fleets are, but I know he's fighting here as well.
Hostile station engaged.
Yeah, I'm not scared of that fleet at all. Just going to leave this cruiser here for a pirate spawn or something. It's not the strongest, but it is something.
Research complete.
That's a dangerous stack, so maybe not. Can pick this one up pretty quick.
Research complete.
Okay, well, ooh, energy weapon damage plus 5% already. I mean, it would be a good one to pick up. We're going to up our research a little bit now. Oh yeah, wait, yeah, never mind. Carry on. You can move to there on your own.
Research complete.
I want to make we've encountered aliens in our home system. Okay. I want to make battleships cheaper. You can take that one. How is it not getting like
Research complete.
any war exhaustion from like just losing stations? You would think that like losing getting a planet bombarded and losing 2 outposts would at least give you something like a dot one or something, or dot 001. Okay, anyway, I think I am going to round up the stream here. We have been streaming for 3 hours now. Thank you guys for stopping by, I really appreciate it. If you love what you see, you can consider leaving a follow behind, and I'll see you guys next time. Yeah, it was fun indeed. See you guys later. Goodbye.